Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth. And shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash, Bracha Tam. And so, we're just seeing how this is playing out right before our eyes. This being 2018, the year of prophecy. We're seeing prophecies come to pass, like, during the Obama administration, which, America wasn't laughed at as much as they are now with Donald J. Trump, doing his boasting. Now, Barack Obama, he would do a lot of boasting too, but at least, you had the Iran nuclear deal going on. You had a lot of other things on the side to where the so-called leaders of the world, the kings of the earth, actually kind of respected Barack Obama. There was still a little bit of that there, even though he was, still bombing Syria and everything else, though. But at least other leaders had respect for him. Not that I was a Barack Obama fan, because I know that he was a Hamite and that he was wicked too. But what I'm saying, though, is that Donald J. Trump is fulfilling Bible prophecy. Donald J. Trump is a spokesperson for the New World Order, which is on the back of the dollar bill. That's what it says on the back, in Latin. I'm not sure what the Latin words were, but you can read it for yourself. But it does translate to New World Order. So America was always this place for the New World Order. But now we're starting to see the Ten Horns begin to hate the whore. And eventually will burn America with fire. These shall hate the whore and burn her with fire, which is right there in Revelation 17:16. So I'm going to go on to Revelation 18, but, that's a key verse because we're starting to see this play out. Donald J. Trump is now taxing everyone, which Vladimir Putin put it this way. Tariffs is just another way of saying sanctions. So you put sanctions on other countries, and you tell them, oh, well, you better deal with us. You can't deal with them. It's just going to cause all these nations to hate America. They'd be like, well, what fucking business is it of America if we still want to do trade with Iran or with Russia? And you're seeing a lot of these other countries purchasing the Russian Su-27 fighter planes. And you're also seeing them buy the S-400 defense systems because they know that, America will turn on them and will attack them. It's what America does. Nothing but lies. And just the fact that Donald J. Trump had the audacity to say, which you can see in the longer length videos of these, Jason Ulrich, who comes from Canada, did a whole video breakdown on this. And it's just beautiful, man. You see, though, that, the nerve of America to say that they've done all this great stuff. But Donald J. Trump in particular saying that he's accomplished more than any president in history. Just listen to him boast about himself as if he was at a rally, as if he was at a Republican rally, You don't get yes men when you go before the UN, before the world, because we know that America has destroyed country after country, just like they destroyed us, we the true Israelites. And so we know, though, that what's happening is all these nations are taking a proverb against Esau and saying, let the weak be strong, and they're calling for Putin to be a shield unto him. And S-400 systems are a shielding weapon meant to take out any air attack made on their countries. So a lot of these countries are now acquiring these things. India was another ally of the United States, and they're acquiring the S-400 systems, as well as Turkey, which is known as Gomer. And you got a lot of other things going on. And pretty much now they brought in the chemical weapons into Syria, so we can expect to see this white helmet's false flag, which is kind of funny because earlier this week, I was in the spirit and was just reading out of Revelation 14, and then Edomite comes off, tells me to fuck off 3 times. And she was tweaked out. You can see the way she walked around the pole, because I watched the video also. The way she walked around the pole, she had a demon on her. But I don't think she was expecting my reaction. She probably thought I was just a regular Jesus freak, telling her to come to Jesus, that God loves her. And she wasn't expecting what was to come next. But what came next is Revelation 14. I pretty much was telling everyone how Babylon has fallen. That you can't even pull off this false flag, that Syria is still standing. And that everybody sees America for the liar that it is. You'll say that they're fighting a war on terrorism when they are the terrorists, when they are ISIS. And I said all that. I came out in the spirit. Because this is, you only get to be Superman so much. I mean, most of the time, let's face it, we're stuck in this world and we're Clark Kent, even though we're really Superman. So we only get to be in that mode for a little bit. So it felt good to unload on Esau. And Esau wasn't expecting that reaction. They were just expecting, you better repent and come to Jesus. But that's not, we don't even say that name. Nope. We're not them Jesus freaks, because that old song of Christianity has been pretty much tuned out. Nobody's singing that old song, We're not Christmas carolers, We're against Christmas. We're against these wicked feast days. We're against Esau and his wickedness, his wicked rulership. So I'm just going to read out of Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, and get into Revelation 18. And the 10 horns that you saw, they are the beast, and they will hate the whore. They will make her desolate and naked. They will devour her flesh and burn her with fire. So that's eventually going to come to pass. That's the EU. And you can say the UN, NATO, they're eventually going to break alliance with the United States. France has already decreed that they need another leader, And I believe that they're going to unite with Putin as that leader, because he's a much better leader. For Yahweh has put it in their hearts to carry out his purpose by agreeing to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai will be fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth, which is America. So pretty much by giving themselves over to the beast, what makes that, we know Russia's a part of the beast system. The UN NATO is separate from the beast, but the UN NATO, the seven heads, was meant to come against Russia, but that's with America there. But eventually America is going to be replaced, and we can see that happening. They want to still continue to deal with Iran, even though United States and Israel says no. Revelation 18. And after this I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was made bright with his splendor. He called out with a mighty voice, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. It has become a dwelling place of demons, a haunt of every foul spirit, a haunt of every foul bird, a haunt of every foul and hateful beast. For the nations have drunken the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Means that bought into her philosophies, have united with her, but now is being called out. And so we know that this is about the time that Yahushai returns, and this is about the time that they're going to destroy America, Babylon the Great. And the merchants of the earth have grown rich from the power of her luxury. Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, so you do not take part of her sins, and do not take in her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai has remembered their iniquities. In other words, don't buy into Esau's philosophy. Stop celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Samhain, which is Halloween, all these wicked festivities. Be not partakers in this. Come out of Babylon the Great and get into this truth. The word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, which differs with everything that we've been taught. This new song, that's the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Render to her as she herself has rendered, and repay her double for her deeds. Into a double draught for her in the cup she mixed. As she glorified and lived deliciously, So give like a measure of torment and grief. In other words, we're starting to see Babylon the Great falling down, and these luxuries that America has lived off on, the richest, Sears Holding Company's already gone bankrupt, as well as Toys R Us this year. So we're starting to see that fall, but pretty much all these other luxuries, the things that made America great, now is being pulled from her. And we're also starting to see these other nations smite America and say, you know what, fuck America. Since in her heart she says, I rule as a queen, I am no widow, and I will never see grief. People think that this place will never be attacked. They think that America is going to go on forever and ever. But in 1 hour, this place will be destroyed. Therefore, her plagues will come in a single day, pestilence and mourning and famine, and she will be burned with fire. That's by way of the thermonuclear missiles, the 200 million ICBMs. For mighty is the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, who judges her, and the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived in luxury with her. In other words, those that have been made rich off of America. And wall over her, when they see the smoke of her burning, they will stand far off in fear of her torment, she said, and say, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. So, in other words, it's going to be via satellite. It's going to be on roughly. It's going to be all over the world. They're going to see America burn with fire, thermonuclear fire. But they will also see these chariots flying over the skies, especially the big flying roll. The merchants of the earth weep and mourn for her, since no one buys their cargo anymore. Cargo of gold, silver, jewels, and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, and scarlet, all kinds of scented wood, all articles of ivory, all articles of costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cinnamon, spice, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, olive oil, choice flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and chariots, slaves and human lives. So in other words, America is not going to be in power anymore to buy these things. And yes, America still buys slaves. You don't hear about it because, of course, it's an illegal trade that's going on. But let's face it, though, they even show you that in movies. You ever watch The Cowboy Way? They were buying slaves off that ship, from the tribe of Manasseh, Cubans, and making them work in factories illegally, but still, though, the slave trade, that's still very much going on. All these other countries are still selling slaves to America. The fruit for which your soul long has gone from you, and all your dainties and your splendor are lost to you, never to be found again. The merchants of these wares who gain wealth from her will stand far off, in fear of her torment, weeping and mourning aloud. Alas, alas, the great city, clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, adorned with gold, with jewels, and with pearls. For in 1 hour all this wealth has been laid waste, and all the shipmasters and seafarers, sailors, and all those trade is on the sea, stood far off, and cried out, and they saw the smoke of her torment burning. What city was like the great city? Who was like America? And they threw dust on their heads as they wept and mourned, crying out, alas, alas, the great city where all who had ships at sea grew rich from her wealth. For in 1 hour she has been laid waste. So that's 1 hour. And everything's leading up to that last hour. We're starting to see this get closer and closer. Rejoice over her, O heaven, your saints and apostles and prophets, for Yahweh Hashem Shai has given her judgment for you against her. So in other words, we're going to be judging Babylon the Great. We're going to be judging the kings of the earth. And pretty much, that's when we go up. The elders and apostles of Great Millstone will be up there. And those that follow, which is Israel, the true leaders of Israel, the elect, the 1/3, will be up there watching this. Then a mighty angel took up a stone and a great multitude and threw it into the sea, saying, "Which such violence, Babylon the great city, will be thrown down and will be found no more. And the sounds of harpers and minstrels and flutists and trumpeters will be heard in you no more." All that fake music that's out there with the backwards subliminal messages, the witchcraft that they use will be found no more. And an artisan of any trade will be found in you no more. And the sound of the millstone will be heard in you no more. And the light of a lamp will shine in you no more. And the voice of the bridegroom and bride will be heard in you no more. So pretty much, because of course we'll be in them ships. That is the elect of us. We pray we're part of that elect. For your merchants were the magates of the earth. All the nations were deceived by your sorcery. And that's just it, though, is that now we're starting to see America lose that sorcery. Donald J. Trump just couldn't sell it. And in you was found the blood of the saints and of the prophets. All of you have been slaughtered on earth. So pretty much what's happening, though, is that people see America for the horror it is. Bashar al-Assad said this lately. If you look at his interviews, he had said that America's in no shape to be telling the countries how to live when it has a dirty history itself. And everybody knows this dirty history, that this place, Babylon the Great, America, was found upon the slavery. And we're still in slavery to this day. Our people are still being bought and sold and traded as slaves, And the thing is, though, is that now, Esau, the so-called white man, has been deporting, and particularly the tribe of Issachar, but you could say all the tribes, been deporting them, and you could say even Haiti now, which is Levi, deporting all the tribes. Separating fathers from their sons, mothers from their daughters, separating them, making them take the RFID chip so they can't get back in because now they're identified. This has been happening for some time because, of course, the RFID is already out there. First, the prisoners get it because it causes all, both small and great, free and bond. So the slaves already have it. They've been chipped. The military has it. Law enforcement has it. RFID is required if you're to serve in any of those things. And eventually, it's going to go worldwide. That's why CNN keeps on promoting this. Mark of the beast, the idea that your employer will require an RFID implant. It's going to sell it to you. And the more and more they sell it, the more these judgments have been befalling this year alone. So we know that that's about to be rolled out. And we know that this proxy war between the U.S. and China is really meant to crash the dollar system. So they can roll out that mark. Because this final battle is about to take place. Better known as the Valley Yehoshaphat, which is right there in Saudi Arabia, Syria, River Euphrates, Idlib province. This war is going to be fought out right there. And among that, they're going to bring in martial law. All sorts of things are going to be happening, leading to that last hour. Everything that we know is leading to that last hour, that final hour. So we got to keep on pushing hard while we still got this internet. They've been making Alex Jones the example. Because payfuck, which is what I call it, I've also noticed this. This is what's kind of funny. If you every now and then like to look up stuff, and see if you can find that collector's item. A lot of people are now taking their collections, especially music collections. They're not even selling on eBay because of eBay and payfuck, because payfuck sucks. So what they'll do is they'll sell it on a collector's record website, you know, you try to look for an out-of-print record, and you would have to now look more on the other sites, because people know that PayFuck sucks. You have to wait almost a whole month to get paid, and anybody can make a false claim against you, and then you have to pay for them to ship it back and then get their money back, or unless you cut a deal with them. That happened with me when I was just trying to sell some things just to pay some bills. I tried to sell a Madonna shirt, and I got screwed on it because, oh, there was a stain on it. It was a used fucking shirt. I ended up having to cut the person because, you know, to send it back, I'd have to pay for the shipping to ship it back. And just, I got screwed. So I'll never deal with goddamn PayPal and fucking eBay. Fucking both, you know. And so Alex Jones, you know, which InfoWars sold through PayPal. Man, people are a fool if they deal with PayPal. Well, America's like PayPal. America sucks. Who the fuck wants to deal with America? You don't get paid on time, and then they can just freeze your assets. That's what they fucking did to Iran. Froze all their assets. So who the fuck wants to deal with these fake-ass fucking Jews? These goddamn fucking Amalekites. You can't trust a fucking word they say. They're a fucking liar. They're a piece of fucking shit. And I can't wait for America, Babylon the Great, to be destroyed in that hour. And it was just great to see Trump humiliated in front of everybody else talking about that American bullshit. People don't fucking buy it anymore. America sucks. And most of all, it ain't what it claims to be, and people see it for what it is. It's about fucking time. So with that, I hope this has been edifying, and just keep on watching, man. We're watching the movie. We're watching this play out, man. We're watching these countries laugh at America because they hate America. So for that, I want to say, Brakadah Yahweh, Brakadah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadas, Brakadah. Until next time, Shalom.